Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of DudeWutPodcast. My name is Harry Dowling, and this time I am joined by my very good friend. It's Mr Callum Hamby. How the hell you doing, bro?
Doing very well, thank you. Yeah, been on a lot recently. So
yeah, you have. I hope you're not getting too burnt out.
No, not at all. No.
But no, it's always fun when we can get you on, man. So happy to have you, bro.
Yeah.
What?
Sorry, I forgot to clap.
It doesn't matter, dude.
Okay.
We're starting now, bro. I'll figure it out later.
I thought I'd let you know before we got too far in. I was like, yeah, okay.
Oh, I noticed straight away, but I was just like, oh, fuck it.
I just realised, I was like, I didn't clap. I was like,
No, to be fair, whenever I do a podcast with you, usually I don't have to edit anything like to do with that because our internet's both really good. The clapping is mainly for like Adam and especially Tomo when we used to do it with Tomo. Tomo's internet, by the way, just a little side topic, has gotten so much worse, bro. Like I went around his house the other day and it now like stutters YouTube videos and stuff. Like it's damn.
He was always used to say like, "Oh, I got like fibre."
Yeah.
Best broadband in Pershore.
Yeah. He definitely was the guy to brag about how good his internet was. Yeah. But he legit has the worst internet out of anyone I know.
Poundland internet.
What have you been up to, bro, since you were last on?
What have I been up to? To be fair, it's been a bit of a quiet week.
Yeah.
Actually. Like we've had a busy few weeks, and last weekend was like the first quiet weekend we'd had in a while actually.
Good.
Yeah, so it was like kind of heat wave last week and then just relaxed weekend really. Just spent time doing stuff around the house and the garden and things. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
But I've honestly a bit of a boring week. In a good way.
That still sounds good, man. Sometimes a boring week is what you need. You know, you just need to not do anything. We definitely, I mean, since that little holiday that I went on, we haven't really done a whole lot. I've just been going to work. I've been on my own for the last week or so at work because my manager is now on holiday. So that's been kind of fun, dealing with the shit, quite enjoying it. But the one cool thing I've done is, I know I say it every week, but I went to go and see our pal Tomo. But I went because I might have said on last week's podcast, but he has bought himself finally a little motorbike, and actually it's very nice. So he's bought himself a little, I think it's called a Honda CBR X or something like that. It's basically a rocket. It's like a little sports bike. But whereas mine, which is quite a heavy bike, mine, maxes, it starts screaming at 50, 52 miles an hour. Tomo's can get up to 90, which for a little 125 is extreme, So he's got his test next week, and he basically asked me to go down there and just sort of show him a thing or two. So I did. We got on the bikes, we practiced the takeoff, and I got to give it to him. He nailed it, absolutely perfect. No points of improvement on sort of clutch control. Amazing. I took all my bike cleaning stuff down. We cleaned the bikes. The bikes smelled amazing. I took a load of pictures. And to be fair, we've just been planning a load of rides and things we want to do. But the annoying thing is that all of my motorbike stuff expires at the beginning of next month. So we've got maybe 2 weeks to get as much riding in as possible, because after that I'm going for my car license now, so I can't afford to have both, so I will be getting rid of the motorbike and pursuing the car. So I've said, Tomo, you've chosen the worst time to do this, but we'll do what we can. So hopefully maybe a little trip to Wales or something. We're thinking a little camping trip to Wales maybe.
Yeah, badass.
Which could be fun. So really, going to see Tomo and dicking about with some bikes is the only thing I've done this week. So yeah, that's my week. Dude, I'm getting thirsty. You know what that means. What are we drinking? All right, so you are the king of the Aldi beer, right? And I went there and I saw the Hoflagen on the top, with the cork, the big bottle. And I thought, yeah, I really want that, but I don't know. I don't know. I just kind of didn't fancy it. I was like, I want a small beer, basically. I don't want a huge, big bottle, because I haven't actually been drinking that much recently. And I didn't want a massive bottle because I wouldn't drink it all in one. It would go flat and all that stuff. So I went to Aldi and I bought an Aldi special and I bought a small beer. And actually, it was one of the cheapest beers they had. So I don't have high hopes. But it's called a Rheinbacher Weissbier.
Oh, I've had that one before.
It's just a standard German wheat beer. And, it doesn't look very good for the price it was. I'm not expecting a lot, but it's ice cold. It's been in my fridge since yesterday. So I actually am quite looking forward to cracking this. I should say as well, we were recording this not pretty early, but earlier than we usually do. I've not long come in from work, and this is what I need. So I'm going to crack this open. Smells alright. Just smells like any other wheat beer. Right. Nothing special. It's okay. It's not.
I've had that beer before, and I seem to remember it wasn't that bad.
No, it's not amazing, but it also isn't bad. It wouldn't be in the bad category. I don't know if it quite gets into the good category, but it's definitely in the okay. I definitely will drink this, no problems. It's refreshing. I mean, there's not really much else I can say about it. It's a 5%. It's got to be one of those ones that's specifically... Yeah, it is. It's specifically brewed for Aldi in Warwickshire. So another lovely German wheat beer from Warwick, just the way it should be. That looks interesting, bro. What have you got?
I had this before on the podcast, but it's Madry.
Oh, yeah.
Had it before. I quite like it. I get it now and again. It's a Spanish lager. They've just started selling it in this country over the last few months. Yeah,
it's good because it's sort of... I don't know if it's a promotional price, but it's always quite reasonably priced, I think, the Madry.
Yeah, and for the price, I think it's probably one of the nicer lagers.
Yeah.
It kind of tastes like Peroni, I think, but it's way cheaper than Peroni. But yeah, it's nice, very smooth. Honestly, it's perfect for hot weather.
Yeah.
So
I probably said the last time you brought one on, the last time I had a Madry, I was in a hot tub somewhere, and it did hit the spot.
Yeah, great beer, very nice and smooth. Love it.
What percentage is it?
I want to say 4.5, 4.6. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, it's a nice lager. I'd recommend it.
Okay, yeah. And speaking of recommending, the sort of the well of beers for me is running a little bit low. So what I could really do with is your suggestions. Send an email, dudewutpodcast@gmail.com. Let me know what we should drink on this podcast. It could be something very nice, it could be something very gross, so that you sort of get our reaction or whatever. Just help us out, man. Send us some suggestions. I'd love to hear them. I won't be down for any hard ass liquor though, shots on the shots on the pod, or fucking. Oh god, yeah. I used to be a real whiskey man when I was younger, and funnily enough, it was when I was about 16. That's when I was I only drink whiskey, love whiskey. I can't even sniff the stuff now. Honestly,
I can have one.
I can't. It makes me feel so rough. I think the only spirit I can really handle now, or maybe two spirits, but I don't drink them often, is probably rum and tequila. That's probably it.
Yeah. I always get grossed out by what's the one that we got drunk at your house when we were like 17 or something? I can't remember.
Oh god.
Was it like
like a martini or something?
Yeah, I think it was martini. And I remember,
I'm just trying to picture what would have been in my cupboard. Like
I think it was like your mum's like martini or something.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, that sounds about right.
I remember, obviously, like I just getting very, very drunk on it, and it just I remember like just being put off that smell, like
grim
forever. Yeah.
It reminds me of one time Adam came to stay with me at my dad's house, and my dad used to have this sort of it was like on top of this unit or something, and basically what he had was just like shit tons of bottles of liquor, like different liquors. And one of the things he had there was a cinnamon, like like a hot cinnamon liqueur thing.
Yeah.
And I think me and Adam were actually like sort of house sitting, so we were fairly young. But we decided to, we thought, they're never going to drink this thing. Let's get it down. Let's have shots of that or whatnot. So we drank loads of it. We drank about half a bottle. And then we got really paranoid that like my dad would find out. So even though we know he'd never touch it, what we did was we filled it to the top with water.
Yeah, of course.
And put it back on the shelf.
I think everyone's done that at some point. Yeah.
Yeah, standard. But no, that was pretty nasty. I do remember, I remember having a shot, and like as soon as it went down, it just went straight back up. Just didn't want to go down. Yeah,
gross.
So I tend to stick to the tasty beers these days. And bonus, I went to get something out the back of Fee's car last night, and I moved some stuff around, and I was like, "What the hell's that?" And there was a can of the Guava IPA just like wedged under one of the seats. So I was like, hey, bonus. Cracked it, drank that, yeah. Okay, let's leave the beer talk there, dude. What are we drinking? Hamby, are you ready, bro? Listener, are you ready? It's time for the one and only. It's Hamby's Ham Bone to Pick. He's pissed off, he's angry, his name must be Hamby. It's Hamby's Ham Bone to Pick.
I guess it's just my dog when he goes into the garden. He's got this habit now of like setting off a chain reactions of all the dogs like barking.
Okay.
Because like basically like he was a really quiet puppy, but the next door's dog always barks at him basically.
Yeah.
So now he started doing it. But the thing is, like, what he does now is he'll go outside, he'll sort of do his business, do what he does outside, and then he'll just, like, start barking, like, at nothing, and then, it'll set, like, 4 or 5 dogs off, like, around our neighbourhood, and then he'll, like, I'll call him in, and then he'll, like, wander in, like, all, like, like, smug, and then there's literally all dogs, like, barking at each other for, like, a few minutes after, it's like,
so he's the instigator, he's the troublemaker.
He's kind of like the instigator, yeah. He just sets them all off, and it's like a chain reaction. It's like literally like a chain reaction.
I wish I knew what they were saying, because do you imagine they're all friendly, or do you imagine they're like, shut the fuck up, like like New York windows kind of thing, like.
Yeah, the next door one, next door's dog does not like Hervey, because they always like, I don't go for each other, but like, I think if they could, they probably would.
Oh, right.
But like the other ones, yeah, I don't know, yeah. Yeah.
Zeph does it sometimes, right? But like, he doesn't really start it. But sometimes you'll hear a dog bark, and you're like, right, that's got to be, a long way away, because it's so faint, And he'll literally like perk up, start barking back, and it's like, dude, like what the hell? It's so far away. And then you get like them all barking in the neighborhood or whatever.
They all just like talk to each other for a few minutes.
All calling each other dickheads and shit. Yeah,
it's weird. Yeah.
It's funny with Zeph when he's playing, because when he goes outside in our garden, like 9 times out of 10 he starts playing instantly, or he like goes for the frisbee, because he's a frisbee dog now. He goes for the frisbee, drops it at your feet, and he's like, throw it, and like you throw it or whatnot, and he can hear dogs barking, and you can tell like he's getting agitated, like he wants to bark back, but Frisbee is life, so he's sort of like torn between the two. It's pretty funny to see. So your ham bone to pick this week is basically just dogs barking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shut the fuck up, dogs. Stop them barking. Yeah, fair play, man. It is annoying. It's sort of one of those things where it's not so bad when it's your dog. You're sort of like, he's having fun, barking away in the garden. But when it's someone else's dog, you're like, I'll fucking kill that thing. Like, where is it?
Yeah. There's a lot of dogs around us as well, so they're all like, they're quite close together, like relatively.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah.
It's annoying.
Pretty good, dude. Pretty good bone to pick, man.
He's pissed off, he's angry, his name must be Hamby. It's Hamby's ham bone to pick.
Alright, little bit of entertainment news now. And I say little bit, there's actually a lot of entertainment news. This podcast, I mean, you've seen the title. The title's going to be something like Marvel Studios at Comic-Con. There was a lot of news. It was Comic-Con, the last couple of days. A lot of stuff has come out of it, so I thought what we would do this week is we'd just have a bit of a chat. It's basically going to be an entertainment news, like a longer episode, entertainment news episode. There's not really a sort of big conversation topic, although I have planned a little bit of something funny right at the end. So let's get right into it. Okay, first bit of news. Have you seen either of the two new Halloween films, bro?
No.
Okay, well, the first one's good. The second one, I enjoyed it, but I do understand the criticisms, which is that it's just filler. It's literally like all these people going like, "This ends tonight," but there's one more movie coming. You know what I mean? So like, they're just there, like, "Oh, I'm stabbed." Like that's basically it. Like, but Michael Myers is just hilarious because he's like, he'll just walk up to someone, get like blasted with a shotgun, and then just be like, "Oh," and then just keep walking or whatever, and it's like, "Oh, fuck off." But yeah, so the latest Halloween film called Halloween Ends got a teaser trailer, and I think it looks pretty good. As someone who's really not into slasher films, except for maybe like the original Halloween and these new ones, I think it looks all right. Apparently, it's set 4 years after Laurie Strode, who is the main character of the whole franchise. It's set 4 years after the last one, so I don't know. Michael's just been chilling out for 4 years, I guess. Laurie Strode's living with her granddaughter, trying to finish her memoirs. Myers hasn't been seen since. This is sort of the synopsis that I'm reading from now. It says, Laurie finally decides to liberate herself from rage and fear and embrace life. However, when a young man stands accused of murdering a boy that he was babysitting, it ignites a cascade of violence and terror that forces Laurie to confront the evil she can't control. I would recommend watching the trailer. Like, at one point, I'm pretty sure she does, like, a backwards headbutt on Michael Myers. And it's like, really, what's that going to do? But yeah, Halloween Ends. Of course it won't. There'll be spin-offs, and there'll probably be sequels to it. It never ends.
Almost certainly.
Next bit of news. John Wick 4. So while I was writing this, it's weird, because as I go through the week, when I find things on my phone or whatever, I screenshot it. And then when it gets to Monday, I write it all up. And the news was that John Wick, like the first sort of proper official image, not counting that little teaser where they're just like, it's coming out. The news was that there was a screenshot, and it was basically just Keanu Reeves looking badass. And like I was like, yeah, that's sick. But John Wick 4 has a trailer. So the news I've got, and this all comes from the site called The Verge. They have said that the first trailer for John Wick 4 was a surprise. It was revealed at the San Diego Comic-Con this weekend, and it features all the highlights that you would expect from a John Wick movie. Keanu Reeves looking very cool while training There's a lot of new villains. Yeah, Donnie Yen is in this. What's his name? One of the Skarsgård. Bill Skarsgård, the guy who played Pennywise. I think he's playing like the big bad guy in this.
Okay.
And of course, our pal Larry Fishburne. That's an in-joke. That goes back a long way.
Larry Fishburne.
Our pal Larry Fishburne comes out and he just goes, "You ready, John?" And he holds up a big black suit. And John, and it just shows all the chaos that you would expect from a John Wick movie. It looks really good. I'm a big fan of Keanu Reeves, big fan of the whole John Wick thing. Although it's weird because nobody really knows what this film is called. Months ago, I reported on it, and I said that it was going to be called, I can't remember what it was now, but it was like John Wick and then some Japanese word which means like, I don't know, redemption or something like that. But people are calling it John Wick Chapter 4 because it is, but in all the promo stuff, it's just called John Wick. But it's sort of like, well, it's just confusing because the first one's called John Wick.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The promo.
Yeah, just literally call it Chapter 4. It's fine. We don't need any, Parabellum or whatever that one was called. But yeah, it looks really cool. Looking forward to it. Keanu Reeves, as I said, I'm a big fan. He just comes across as like a really lovely dude, and also like a sort of die-hard actor. Like, he'll get stuck in.
Yeah.
Apparently, he's one of those actors as well that lives like they're not rich. Which I kind of don't understand, because like, what's the point in being rich if you're not going to live like it? You know what I mean?
I don't know. I guess he must live like in a nice house and stuff. Surely.
Don't think so. I think it's all pretty. I think he rides like the train.
Yeah.
I know, but I do know he has like his own motorcycle company and shit like that. But I think he doesn't. He just doesn't like sort of flaunt his wealth.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good stuff actually. If you ever search like good guy Keanu, you'll find a lot of good stuff that he did. Like, I think he ended up giving all of his Matrix earnings towards his like sister's leukemia treatment or something. He like didn't make any money off those films. Like, really lovely dude. All right, next bit of news, and I know you're going to love this, Hamby, because you are a massive Walking Dead fan.
Absolutely, I'm not.
But your favourite character, Rick Grimes, played by Andrew Lincoln, is returning to the franchise. Now, apparently, probably a while back now, when he left the series, at this point I stopped watching it and stopped caring, so I don't know anything about it. But he left the series, apparently, and they were planning on doing a series of films that sort of continued his story. Those have since been shelved, and this comes from AMC's actual website, AMC. AMC Networks announced at the San Diego Comic-Con that Andrew Lincoln and Danai Gurira, who is the actress who plays Michonne, will reunite for a limited series set in the universe, and it continues with the journey and the love story of Rick and Michonne. You look so pumped for that, bro.
I stopped caring about The Walking Dead a long time ago.
Yeah.
Like, I just got really bored of it, even when Rick was still in it.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
I just got bored of it, and like, every single season was exactly the same.
It was.
It's like they were like, it's like the first few seasons were brilliant, because it was like, oh yeah, there's all these cool ideas, but then basically every single season boiled down to like, there's these new bad guys, and like,
we're not fighting any zombies, we're just fighting the bad guys. Like,
and I just got bored of it after that.
Yeah, I think it went, personally, it started going downhill at the end of season 2. And a lot of people didn't like season 2 because nothing really happened in it, but I thought it was all right.
Yeah.
But, no, I know what you mean. I was looking it up the other day because it's finished now. It's all finished, like the main Walking Dead series.
Yeah.
And I was like, shall I look up like what happened, And then I was like, actually no. I do think that at some point in the far future, I'm going to come back and I'm going to watch the whole thing.
Oh, but the thing is with Walking Dead, like I couldn't do that with it, because even when I was watching it, even when I was into it, I was like, there's so many filler episodes.
Oh, 100%.
And it's by far the worst show I've ever watched for that. Where it's like, and they're long episodes. They're like an hour long episodes, aren't they?
Yeah.
What, 45 minutes, something like that. And it's like, and it's like. It's just sort of a 45 minutes of just like nothing.
Some random character you don't give a shit about, yeah.
And it's like you could quite easily like watch like during the middle of the seasons. You could quite easily watch like every other episode.
Well, I tell you what, right? So maybe from about season 4, I probably watched. I don't know how many seasons there are, but I probably saw up to like season 5, guessing
something like that for me. Yeah, something.
But
like that.
I had what I called the Rick rule. Which was, because I used to watch it when it came out, like every week. My rule was, if Rick Grimes isn't in the episode, I'm not watching it. And I legit did this for maybe like 2 seasons or something. And I don't feel like I missed anything.
No, yeah, exactly. And the thing is, like, The Walking Dead, like, could have been like, I think it's gone for, I think it might have gone for like 10 seasons or something, hasn't it?
Yeah, 9 or 10 seasons, yeah.
Like, it could easily.
And now there's like 3 spin-off shows as well.
Yeah. I started watching Fear the Walking Dead when it first came out, and that was equally as bad.
I couldn't finish the first episode of Fear.
It was awful. Like, it's such a shame because, like, I think it's a great franchise. Actually, like, I think it's got a really, really good, like, story to the actual comics and things.
Yeah.
And to be fair, they had a great cast as well.
Definitely,
in The Walking Dead, but like, just got stale.
So here's a random piece of trivia that I heard the other day, and I had to look it up because I was like, "Is that true?" We're going off on a tangent here, but I'll keep it short. Apparently, so the article was slavery didn't exist in the world of The Walking Dead, right? And I was like, "What the hell?" So I clicked on it, and it turns out that in the world of The Walking Dead, I'm not sure how legit this is, but the website I read it from seemed like it was pretty legit. Robert Kirkman, the creator, like, in that world, the sort of the Civil War or something, like, didn't happen, or it happened differently, which is why they never use the word zombie, because the word zombie comes from, like, Haiti or something. It's like Haitian, and that came over with, like, slaves to America. So they have no knowledge of the word zombie. The slave trade didn't happen, which is why there's so many, like, multi sort of ethnic characters that aren't, like, treated like shit, if you know what I mean. It's fascinating. Like, look it up, honestly.
It's cool. Yeah.
It's weird. Like, it's weird when you think about it. Like, because they all, what do they call them? Like, geeks and stuff.
Walkers.
Oh, there's one. Yeah, walkers, but I swear, like, each different group has got, like, different names for them.
Oh, yeah, some of them have different names for them. Yeah. It is a shame with The Walking Dead. Like, I feel like it was good for a period of time.
It was definitely good. Season 1 was great. The end of Season 2 was fantastic. The last 2 episodes. I thought that when they started introducing, like, big human villains, even, like, the governor and shit, that's when it went downhill for me, because I don't care about, Negan or any of that shit. I just want to see shit tons of zombies. The zombies are scary enough. Just give us the zombies,
But that equally gets quite boring.
But then give us, like, muted zombies. Like, that's a big one. That one, like, just don't give us some skinny bloke with a baseball bat. Like, I'm gonna fuck you up. Like, fuck it. Oh, who cares, bro?
Yeah.
And now and then he was a good guy or something. I don't know.
I think in the comics it's like isn't he like held prisoner or something for like loads of the comics. I'm guessing it's something similar in the TV show.
But like I said, I did sort of restrain myself from actually reading up everything that happened, and I do think I'm going to come back to it, but not for a long time.
Yeah.
All right, next little bit of news. Now, this is something you can chime in on, Hamby. So, on Saturday night just gone, Friday night just gone, at about 11 o'clock, half 11, I got a text from our pal Adam Grizzly Homer, and it wasn't a text at all. It was a single image, and you know what that image was? It was the album cover for the brand new Red Hot Chili Peppers album.
It's very strange.
Oh,
it's very,
mate,
very happy, but it's very strange that you're
crazy.
Two in the space of 6
crazy.
months.
Yeah, like what the fuck? Very happy. But so here's how it went down. Apparently, while they were on stage on July 24th, I think they were in Denver or somewhere like that. The Chili Peppers were on stage, and they literally just went like, "Hey everyone, like we've got another album coming out. Comes out in October," and obviously people lost their minds, and it's just like, I mean, I know that everyone who listens to this podcast probably fucking hates the Chili Peppers, apart from us, like, and
I don't care.
No, nor do I, but, I am aware that we often talk about them, and you can bet your ass we'll be doing a special episode when this album comes out, all on the album. But yeah, for fans like us, that's crazy, like, it hasn't been done before by the Chili Peas, and I think most of us a lot of us, including myself, were hoping for a double album on the one that came out earlier this year. So, and then, when that came out and it was just one album, it's like, it's very good and very happy with it. But this is just the best news. A whole nother album.
It's weird. It's weird because, like, every other album, like, from them has always been sort of like 4 or 5 years apart. And
yeah.
So must be, maybe it was like over COVID or whatever, they recorded just way more songs than.
There's always a story that we recorded 7,000 tracks for this album, like
but you're only gonna hear 10.
yeah, literally, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
So I guess this time they are giving them to us, because I don't know if you've seen, but the back of the album has been leaked, and there's like 18 tracks or something.
Yeah. I'm hoping there's gonna be some B-sides and things.
Well, so I looked into it, and the album is again produced by Rick Rubin. It's got a pretty funky name. It's called The Return of the Dream Canteen.
Yeah, the artwork is by the same artist that did Poster Child video.
Yeah, you can tell.
I don't know if you noticed. Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same artist. Can't remember his name, but or her name. Sorry. Dream Canteen, it's coming out on October 14th via Warner Records, and going on what you said, hopefully there's some good stuff in there. They actually put out a massive statement. I didn't copy the whole statement down, but they basically said, basically like, don't worry, like, we saved some good shit for this one too, like, and I actually took the sort of the last line of the whole quote, and that reads, 2 double albums released back to back, the second of which is easily as meaningful as the first, or should that be reversed? Return of the Dream Canteen is everything we are and ever dreamed of being. It's packed. Looking forward to it.
And all that information comes from NME.com.
And a single end of the week, hopefully. End of this week.
Yeah, so that's the other thing. Rumoured single on Friday.
Tip of my tongue, apparently.
Yeah. I did speak to Adam about this, and he said, don't know if it's going to be Friday, but it will be soon.
It was the Twitter page that always leaks shit.
Yeah,
They're normally pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
Didn't they leak like all the singles for
Yeah, they did.
Love? Yeah.
So I've got to say though, I think, although I don't think there's a bad track on the Unlimited Love album, Poster Child is probably my least favourite one on the album. And
yeah, maybe.
I just, I saw the artwork for this, and I was like, oh my god, that looks like psychedelic or whatever. And then my mind just went like every track Poster Child, and I was sort of like, oh no.
I think yeah, I don't know if the artist is the same. You think maybe it was going to be along the same lines as that. So just like funky and that kind of thing.
Yeah, we'll just have to see. But hell yes, it's a great year to be a Chili Peppers fan. All right, next bit of news. I don't have where this was actually from. It's probably come out of Comic-Con. There was a teaser trailer and a new title for the upcoming National Treasure TV series. I don't know if you've seen him, Hamby, but the two National Treasure films with Nick Cage.
I think it's in the first.
Yeah, well, it's fun. Disney fun. It's pretty sure it's like a Jerry Bruckheimer thing. And I love that sort of like follow the clues, solve the mystery type film, and I really enjoyed them. But a while back they announced that they were going to do a series. There was no information about it. Nick Cage, I think he did an interview and he was like, I don't know anything about it, which is a shame.
Yeah.
But no, actually, this is from Collider. So on July 6th, Collider reported that the official title of the Disney Plus series will be National Treasure: Edge of History.
Ooh. Very snazzy.
Yeah, they released a really short teaser that's basically a woman walking into a room, and then the camera turns on her and she's like, hey, and then it ends. And it's sort of like, I don't even know what that is. I've literally written down it presumably shows the main character. I don't know. No Nick Cage, but earlier this year, Disney Plus did announce that Justin Bartha is set to return as Riley Poole, who was Nicolas Cage's best friend in those two films. He also was the guy in The Hangover who isn't really in The Hangover. He's the guy who gets left on the roof.
Uh-huh.
And he's like not in the whole film. Yeah, but he's like on the cover and shit. Okay, so we are coming up on 40 minutes into this podcast. Let's get to what we're really talking about today. And what we're talking about is Marvel Studios at Comic-Con. Now, if you're a regular listener to this podcast, you'll know that I wouldn't say we're like super nerd fans, but we like the Marvel films, right? You know, they're pretty good most of the time.
Well, love and hate.
Yeah. And we did the MCU thing the last 3 weeks because we were sort of, riding the Thor hype train. And I said to Hamby, I'm actually, I'm sort of done with the MCU for a little bit after doing it for 3 weeks. And then it turns out Comic-Con happens, and it's a shit ton of Marvel news, and I wouldn't be very good if I didn't report all this stuff. So, Marvel at the San Diego Comic-Con 2022. So what I'm going to do, and what I've got here and what you've got in front of you as well, Hamby, is basically a sort of a breakdown of pretty much everything that was announced. And there was a lot of big announcements. A lot of pretty good announcements, actually. So, the first announcement that came from the famous Hall H, which is, where they do all the stuff, is that Phase 4 is over. So, that literally answers our question last week or whatever, where we were like, how long's left? Like, maybe another 4 films, other TV shows or whatnot. No, baby, it's over. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever will be the last entry into Marvel's Phase 4, coming out November. So the Phase 4 began with WandaVision and has seen the most hours of movies and films to date in the MCU. I think I remember seeing something that the last... Phase 1 was about 12 hours or something. Phase 2 a little bit longer. Phase 3 was maybe 20 hours or whatever. But Phase 4 has been 50 hours of content.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Yeah, it's killer for people like me who have to watch through everything every time.
I just can't keep up with it.
Well, that's the problem. I think that is the problem with the MCU, is that it's a bit too much at times. Kevin Feige, who's obviously the big cheese behind it all, has confirmed that this story arc that we are in now, which, again, it answers our question from last week where we were like, it's getting confused. It needs a goal. What are we working towards? They've announced that this whole thing of the MCU is called the Multiverse Saga. And that it runs from Phase 4 to the end of Phase 6.
Damn.
Yeah, the look on your face then, bro.
150 hours of potential.
Yeah, man. It never ends. It's never gonna end.
It's like EastEnders at this point, or like Coronation Street, isn't it? It
isn't
never ends.
Yeah. So here we go. So one of the next things that came out was they basically shown this big timeline, which is what they do every phase. They've shown a big timeline with all the entries that are coming out. And apparently, maybe things will change, but we basically got a full list of everything that's coming out in Phase 5 of the MCU. So, running through this stuff. It begins in 2023 with Ant-Man and the Wasp in February. Well, actually, this has got Ant-Man and the Wasp written down. It's not, isn't it just called like Ant-Man Quantumania or some shit like that?
I don't know.
You should know, man. Super fan. Come on. Oh, I forgot we're not talking about Captain Marvel.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Burn.
Sick burn. Yeah, so Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, February 17th, 2023. Quite looking forward to that. I do like the Ant-Man films, although I can never remember them. It's so weird.
I don't remember anything that happened in the last one. I remember the first one.
I remember the villain. That's about it.
I remember the first one, but I don't remember
I remember in the second one that at one point Walton Goggins is like running after a suitcase or something.
Yeah.
That's all I've got. Give me that back. That's all I've got. And Larry Fishburne is in it. Our pal Larry.
Is he? I can't remember.
Yeah, man, he's in it. He's like an old pal of Michael Douglas.
Oh, yeah. I remember.
So that's obviously a film. The next thing we get is Marvel's Secret Invasion, which we will talk a little bit about when we get to it. But that's a TV show, and that's coming out. All we've got for that is spring 2023. That's the one where it's like Sam Jackson is back, baby. You'll like this because I know you like the Guardians films. Guardians Volume 3, May 5th, 2023.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. We will get back to that as well. We also have Echo, which is a series coming out summer 2023. That's the one that, if you haven't seen Hawkeye, I don't want to spoil anything for you, but it's a whole series based on a character that is in Hawkeye. So watch it, bro. Hawkeye's actually a pretty good one as well. It's fun, man. It's Christmas time.
How am I supposed to like watch all this stuff though? Like, I haven't got enough like free time to like watch like hundreds of hours of Marvel.
You work in an office now, don't you?
Yeah, I can't watch. You're suggesting that I watch?
Yeah,
Disney...
just like get Disney Plus loaded up, bro. Get it on the screen.
Nah, I have actual work to do. Like, unlike you, I can sit playing Minecraft all day.
Yeah, mate, Age of Empires, bro, not Minecraft.
Oh, I can't do that, unfortunately.
Nah, just get all your work done. Like, slap your work out so it's done, and then kick back with the old Disney Plus, bro. Yeah, so Echo, summer 2023. After that, July 28th, 23, we've got The Marvels. Now, all jokes aside, you know, Hamby is really pumped for this one. Obviously, the highly anticipated sequel to Captain Marvel. Brie Larson, Hamby's favourite actress, hands down. She's coming back. She's joined with Monica Rambeau and Ms. Marvel from the recent Ms. Marvel series, which Hamby also watched. It looks good. I actually quite liked Captain Marvel, the film. So, you know,
buzzed.
After the Marvels, we have another series, and that is Loki Season 2, summer 2023. actually quite hyped for that because Loki was pretty good. Probably the best out of all of them, I would say. Have you seen that one?
No.
Oh,
I've not seen any of the TV shows.
dude. Oh, I thought you said you'd seen some of them.
No.
Oh God, really?
Well, yeah,
Damn, bro.
this is what I mean. I used to just watch the movies because like it's like okay, I can watch a movie, you know, but
Yeah.
like I can't be asked for the TV shows.
Yeah, well, there's some that I would say literally just watch a 5-minute like recap on YouTube.
Well, that's what I did for like the Doctor Strange, the new Doctor Strange movie. I was like, okay, I can literally like summarize it in like a minute video on YouTube of like what I need to know for this movie. And it's like, okay.
Some of them I would definitely do that because like nothing happens, but then some of them, like Loki, are actually very good. You know, like just a good show in general. So yeah, Loki season 2. After that, the next film we get is Blade, coming out November 2023. Now that's the one with I always butcher his name, so I apologize in advance, but it's like Mahershala Ali, you know, he's a great actor. He was actually in he was in Luke Cage on Netflix. He was also in True Detective season 3. A really good, really sort of strong actor, and he's coming back as Blade, so that will be cool. After that, 2023, we've got Ironheart in fall of 2023. She's a character that's going to be debuted in the upcoming Wakanda Forever. So that's cool. Now, this next one I just don't care for. It's called Agatha, Coven of Chaos, and it's coming out sort of winter 23/24, a series on Disney Plus based on the villain from WandaVision. But although I like the actress Catherine Hahn, who the hell cares? Like, who wants to watch like maybe 6 hours of like a villain who was in one thing one time and was all right? You know, I just don't understand that.
No.
But probably the coolest thing from the whole of Phase 5 and the coolest thing from everything we've mentioned so far is that coming out in spring of 2024, we have Daredevil Born Again. Disney have announced that this is going to be an 18-episode series on Disney Plus. Daredevil
episodes.
Yeah, but it's Daredevil, bro.
Yeah, but like each episode's going to be like an hour long.
Yeah,
like,
but it's mate. Did you ever watch the Daredevil series on Netflix?
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
Come on, then. Yeah, you know it's good, right?
I do, but like, yeah, okay. Yeah.
I think they've done that purely because like that's fan service right there. I think fans would be pissed if it was like 4 episodes or something.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say anything because I'm just gonna sound like a broken record.
What you say? Fuck Marvel.
It's just too much. It's just like
it is way too much. Yeah.
It's like, how's anybody supposed to keep up with it? Like, I get it. If you're really into it, you're gonna watch everything. But the average person, like,
yeah, all it's doing really is it's sort of alienating all those people who just want to go to the movies on a Saturday night and watch whatever's on. Because now, with all these cinematic universes, it's like, oh, I can't watch that because I haven't seen the one before it. I can't watch that. It's just harder for the average cinema goer now, I think.
Yeah.
So after Daredevil, we get Captain America 4, which has a title, Captain America New World Order, May 3rd, 2024. And then the last thing of Phase 5 is the Thunderbolts movie, which is basically what they've been building towards with all these... I mean, you won't know because you haven't seen them. But in a lot of the series is, like, at some point, the villain will be sort of, like, recruited for something at the end. And it's building towards this this big Thunderbolts thing, which is basically... Excuse me. It's basically Marvel's Suicide Squad.
Okay. Is that going to be like a big thing? Is that going to be like the big enemy for like Phase 6 or whatever? Or?
So no. So we'll get to it, right? Because we're moving on to Phase 6 now. So Phase 6, will begin with Fantastic Four, which has a current release date of November 8th, 2024. Then, and probably the coolest bit of news out this whole thing, Marvel will then release 2 Avengers movies in 2025. So we've got another sort of Endgame, Infinity War Endgame situation coming up.
Yeah.
The first one is called Avengers: The Kang Dynasty. So it just basically proves that... you haven't seen Loki, have you? Watch Loki. Basically, it introduces a variant of a villain who is now the new big bad, basically.
Okay.
Called Kang. So yeah, you've got the Kang Dynasty on May 2nd, 2025. And then right after that, November 7th, you've got Avengers Secret Wars, which will obviously be the big culmination to the whole of this multiverse saga. And honestly, I can't wait for it to end, because I'm already a little bit bored of the whole multiverse thing. I think we said on a previous episode, it's basically just a cop-out.
It's like the time travel thing.
Yeah.
It's just like it's just cheating.
It's like, oh no, this character's died. Like, no. And the fans are in tears, and they're like, oh wait, portal opens, like another one just walks through. Oh yeah, here's another version of him. Oh right, okay, so death means nothing now, I guess.
Yeah.
But there are still plenty of remaining gaps. There's 8 slots left to be filled on Phase 6, so there will be more news coming out. So along with that stuff, we also got a trailer for the upcoming Black Panther, which is pretty good. It's got quite a cool version of Bob Marley's No Woman, No Cry playing over the background. It's a really well-made trailer. It basically shows everyone sort of mourning / celebrating the life of T'Challa, who in this film, well, in real life obviously has died, and in this film the character has died also. It shows the Atlanteans fighting the Wakandans. It basically is everything that I reported on like last week or the week before. And at the very end of the trailer, you get a glimpse of Black Panther's like leg and his claw, but the suit is black and gold. So people are like, ooh, is it Shuri? The number one theory at the minute is that they're going to bring villain from the first film, Eric Killmonger, back to life, played by Michael B. Jordan, and he will become Black Panther. That's a new theory that's going around, which would be quite cool, because like he was a cool actor, and he was kind of like quite a like a decent villain,
But didn't he get full on like killed?
Yeah, he got like stabbed and thrown in the ocean, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I remember. But it's the multiverse, so he's alright.
Oh, the multiverse! Yeah, man, just walk through a portal, isn't it?
Yeah, okay.
We also got a trailer for She-Hulk, which looks way better than the first one. It looks pretty funny. She's shown breaking the fourth wall a lot, which is like her, pretty typical of her character. And then at the end of it, it shows a dude doing a badass flip or something. Shows his 2 sticks. It's Daredevil. He's at the end of the trailer. I guess you can't have like a Marvel lawyer thing without having Daredevil in it, though, I guess. So, but happy to see him anyway. Fucking love Daredevil. They showed a trailer for the I Am Groot sort of shorts that are coming out. That looks adorable. It's like little baby Groot sort of playing with bumblebees and shit. Fun, great for kids. And then they showed a load of trailers that haven't been released yet, that were sort of exclusive. So they showed a Guardians of the Galaxy 3 trailer, where James Gunn confirmed that this is the last Guardians film, although it won't be. He probably just means it's like the last for those characters or something.
Well, they'll be in like all the Avengers movies and stuff.
Yeah, of course they will. Yeah. Although I am expecting some deaths, mainly Drax. I think Drax going out, because I don't think Batista wants to do it anymore. But apparently the trailer just shows what Gamora is up to now, and apparently now she's like a Ravager leader or something, hunting down the Guardians. So, pretty cool. They showed a trailer for Secret Invasion, which has been described as a dark Captain America 2 vibe sort of thing, with Sam Jackson as the lead. And there were just a few other random announcements. One of them was that What If Season 2 was teased, and they announced that What If Season 3 is already in production. They announced something called they announced some artwork for something called Spider-Man Freshman Year, which I'm pretty sure is... I don't know, it's a series. I don't know if it's going to be animated or what, but apparently Charlie Cox is coming back as Daredevil. You're going to have Doc Ock, Chameleon, Rhino, Scorpion, Norman Osborn, and it's basically going to be like an origin story for Spider-Man. They teased the upcoming X-Men 97, as well as showcasing the upcoming Marvel Zombies, which I think they've said is actually going to be pretty... Like, I don't know if they said it's going to be like R-rated or like adult, but they've said it's going to be pretty gnarly, so that's cool. And that is everything that came out at Comic-Con. Well, no, it's not everything that came out at Comic-Con. It's everything that Marvel spoke about at Comic-Con. You know, like I said at the beginning of this, feeling a bit fatigued with all the Marvel stuff at the minute. This is week 4 in a row of talking about Marvel shit. So next week, I'm going to try my hardest to not bring it up. Although, I put money on it now that it'll get mentioned somehow, because there will be some news or something.
Yeah.
And you know Hamby, he's always got to be talking about Captain Marvel. He doesn't fucking shut up.
I do like Marvel. It's just... I as I've gotten older, I've just I can't watch everything. There's not enough time in my life to watch it all.
There genuinely isn't. Like there's just so much stuff. I like how they do the series, but I sort of wish they didn't, because now there's just more shit. And like, if you don't have Disney Plus, for example, like you ain't watching the MCU now, because you need it to watch those series.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the end of all the entertainment news. We'll leave that part of the podcast there. Now, I thought, we need to do something at the end of this episode. We need to do something. So my first thought was, what if Hamby does like a which MCU hero quiz, like are you quiz, and I'll do a which MCU villain are you quiz, and we'll sort of see, like who's up against who kind of thing. That might be quite fun. But honestly, the thought of doing another MCU quiz right now, I was just like, I can't do it.
Can't be asked.
So yeah, I genuinely can't be asked, because they were all like at least 12 questions and shit, and it's like, oh no mate, no. So I thought something I've been sort of holding on to for quite a while now, actually, to do a full episode on, and maybe we will if this works. It's pretty random, it's pretty out there. We are going to create a short story, but we're going to use one of those like web short story generator things, and we're going to let it sort of fill in a lot of the blanks itself, and hopefully it comes up with something pretty funny to end this podcast on. So, I was looking into it a bit while I was at work, should have been working today, and there is a website just called plotgenerator.com, and you can do any sort of story, characters, any of that stuff. So what I've done is I've done short story.
Okay.
Right? Now, so what it does is it gives you a load of questions. Gives you like 50 questions. I'm not going to fill all those in because we don't have time for that. I'm going to fill a few key things in, and I'm going to let the program do the rest. So, the title of the short story, it's going to be named after the protagonist, I guess. It's asking me how the story wants to open. We're going to launch straight into the action, and it's going to be a violent story.
Well, who's the protagonist?
With a violent ending. Wait for it, Hamby. Protagonist comes in now. What's the protagonist called? Hamby.
Just Hamby.
Hamby, Hambyson. Hambyson. And secondary character, Harry.
Goofus.
Harrison. Harry Goofus.
No, was it? What were we looking? Yeah.
You're Goofus Hamby, and I'm Dingus Dowling.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Okay, I'm called Harry Goofus. You're Hamby Hambyson. Okay, what does the second character want from the protagonist? What do I want from you?
Teabag him.
No, let's go for something you have. You have the sacred ale. Shall we say that? You have the sacred ale, and I want it.
Yeah.
How do I feel about you? Positive or negative? Pretty damn negative.
Yeah, pissed off.
Something the protagonist, that's you, would like to say to me. How about something like, you're a dick, mate.
Go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself.
I think the protagonist should be Australian.
The protagonist certainly can be Australian. So I put it in something that the protagonist would say to the secondary character. I've got, you're a dick, mate. At the place where it all happens. Shall we say, where does it want to happen?
On the moon.
On the moon. Oh, let's spice it up even more. The center of the moon.
Okay.
Okay. How does the how do you feel about the center of the moon? You like it? You hate it?
I think it's like I think it's the protagonist's like home.
Okay, so
it's
he loves it.
Yeah.
Okay, and now what we'll do is it gets to the point where it's asking you like features, adjectives, emotions, all this stuff, and you could think about it all, but I found it's way funnier if you just let the computer suggest everything for you. So, a feature of the place, gates. 2 adjectives that describe the place, cozy and backward. 4 emotion adjectives, calm, puzzled, concerned, lonely. An adjective that could describe an object. The computer recommends minuscule. 6 adjectives to describe somebody's character. Sweet, admirable, arrogant, helpful, modest, and stingy.
Arrogant?
An occasion. The computer recommends a christening.
Okay.
3 verbs. The computer recommends chatting, cooking, and shouting.
Okay.
Something/somebody vulnerable. An owl, apparently. A noun you might compare the main character to. Here we go. This is a noun comparing to you, Hamby. Banker.
Okay.
Banker? I'm changing that one. Lawyer. That fits in with... There's our segue to the whole episode. A noun you might compare to the other character. A writer. Let's go for that, I guess. A type of music. Give us a music.
Classical.
Classical. Okay. The protagonist's favourite drink. Wait for it. Let's see what your favourite drink is. Beer! Hey!
There you go. Okay.
Pretty spot on. 2 objects. A knife and a map. That's all you need, really.
Okay.
Okay, currency. It suggested pounds, but can we be a bit more adventurous?
What, like an...
Shekels?
Yeah, like we're in Israel. Yeah.
Rupees?
Yeah, go for... What about, like... Yeah, go for, like, rupees or something. Yeah.
Rupees.
Yeah, like a rupee.
A noun to do with the weather. It recommends sleet. 3 animals. I'll do 2, you give us a third one, okay? First one is mice. Then it's rats. There's a theme here. What's the third one?
A moose.
A moose. Nice. Okay, 2 body parts. We're going with warts and fingers.
Okay. How's a water
a body part?
A body part. Okay.
4 adjectives to describe physical characteristics. I'll do 3. You do the last one. Okay. First one is short, tall, beautiful. What's the last one gonna be?
Ugly.
Ugly. I'm gonna change short and tall. I'm gonna change tall to flabby.
Flabby.
Okay. All right. So we've come to the end of it. I'm just looking back at it now, see if there's anything we can spice up. I'm gonna change chatting as a verb to slicing because it might work better with the knife. ing. Okay, so once you've done all this, the program writes you a story. So it'll first tell you, if you've put any swears in there or anything, so the smart people, spell your swears wrong. Okay, here's the story, right? And I'm going to read it for all of you. Okay. It's called Sweet Hamby Hambyson, a short story by Harry Dowling. Hamby Hambyson looked at the minuscule knife in his hands and felt calm. He walked over to the window and reflected on his backward surroundings. He had always loved Cozy, the centre of the moon, with its graceful grim gates. It was a place that encouraged his tendency to feel calm. Then he saw something in the distance, or rather someone. It was the figure of Harry Goofus. Harry was a helpful writer with ugly warts and beautiful fingers.
Beautiful fingers.
Hamby gulped. He glanced at his own reflection. He was a sweet, admirable beer drinker with short warts and flabby fingers. His friends saw him as a lonely, late lawyer. Once he had even rescued a fuzzy owl from a burning building. But not even a sweet person who had once rescued a fuzzy owl from a burning building was prepared for what Harry had in store today. The sleet rained like slicing mice, making Hamby lonely.
Like slicing mice. Okay.
As Hamby stepped outside and Harry came closer, he could see the uneven glint in his eye. Uneven glint. I am here because I want the sacred ale, Harry bellowed in an arrogant tone. He slammed his fist against Hamby's chest with the force of 8,627 moose.
Oh, God.
I friggin' hate you, Hamby Hambyson. Hamby looked back, even more lonely, and still fingering the minuscule knife. Harry, you're a dick, mate, he replied. They looked at each other with puzzled feelings, like 2 raspy, rotten rats cooking at a very modest christening, which had classical music playing in the background, and 2 stingy uncles shouting to the beat. Suddenly, Harry lunged forward and tried to punch Hamby in the face. Quickly, Hamby grabbed the minuscule knife and brought it down on Harry's skull. Harry's ugly warts trembled and his beautiful fingers wobbled. He looked concerned, his body raw like a massive map. Okay. He then let out an agonizing groan and collapsed to the ground. Moments later, Harry Goofus was dead. Hamby Hambyson went back inside and made himself a nice drink of beer. The end.
Okay. Well, that's interesting.
Do you have any criticisms, any compliments, any
Any criticisms? You beat my chest with the force of like 8,000 moose. Like, that's a lot of moose. All the meese.
Yeah, doom.
Mooses.
So apparently, it even writes like quotes from other people about your story. So it says, this is from the Daily Tale. It says, "I feel like I know Hamby Hambyson. In a way, it feels like I've always known him." This is a quote we have from Enid Kibler. This says, "About as enjoyable as being hailed on whilst taking in washing that has been targeted by seagulls with the squits." This is from Hit the Spoof. It says, "Saying that the sleet rained like slicing mice is just the kind of literary device that makes this brilliant."
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, that was fun.
So hopefully, I mean, I really enjoyed doing that. Hopefully that wasn't too boring and quite funny for you, the listener, because if it was, I would like to do a whole episode on that. Maybe write a couple of different short stories.
Maybe like a saga or something.
Yes, we should make our own saga. The Adventures of Hamby Hambyson. I don't know why, but I'm fully picturing him as like some like Norwegian dude living on the moon now. Hey there, friend.
Happy Hambyson.
Oh. Okay, bro, I think we have come to the end of the podcast. We've come to the end of another episode of Dude What Podcast. Hopefully you've enjoyed being here.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed having you on the pod, as always, bro. You're always welcome to come and do an episode. Hopefully you, the listener, have really enjoyed it. Hopefully it's a bit of fun and breaks up your week nicely. So, if you want to get in touch with us, you can send us an email, dudewutpodcast@gmail.com. Let us know, anything you think that's cool. One thing that would be really cool, actually, is if you go onto this website, which, again, is called plotgenerator.com, go onto the short story one, or on any of them, and send me a story. Come on, I need to know what happens to Hamby Hambyson. So, send me a story. That would be cool. You can get us on Instagram @DudeWutPodcast, also on Facebook /DudeWutPodcast. But what you can do, which would help massively, is leave us a 5-star review. Go on any platform that you listen to the podcast on, and go on there and just give us them stars. 5 stars, please. The easiest place to do that is on Spotify. You literally just, on the Dude What Spotify page, there's just a thing. You click the amount of stars. That's it. You don't have to write anything. Just give us the stars. The more stars, the more likely we are to be shared round by the algorithms at play. So if you could leave us a review, that would be sick. And if you want to be a super fan of the podcast and also a producer of the show, check you out, Mr. Producer. You can go to buymeacoffee.com /DudeWhatPodcast, or if you go onto our link tree, which you'll find on all of our, all of our stuff, scroll down to the bottom, you'll see a link for Buy Me a Coffee. Click on that. You will get the option to donate between £1 and £5 to the podcast. Anything you do donate will go straight back into the running of the show, which is why I'm saying you're basically a producer, because it's you funding the show. Of course, you don't have to, though. Like, we're not begging you for money. It's your hard-earned money. If you want to keep it, man. It's cool with me. So the option is there if you need it. If you'd like to, basically. And there is also a subscription on there as well. For £2 a month, you can be a mega super ultra fan, and basically all that really gives you is it gives you a direct line to us. So even though you could send an email and suggest something anyway, if you are one of the producers, you send us an email, we will basically go to you first every time, baby. And that's it. That's it for another episode of Dude What Podcast. as always, we will be back this time next week for another episode. And this is the point where I usually say we'll also be back on Friday for a live stream, but not this week. It's our pal Tomo's birthday this week, this Friday, and I think you're coming. I'm definitely going, but we're going down to his house and we're having a bit of a bash for his birthday, so we won't be doing a live stream this week.
Looking forward to it.
So Tuesday, everyone. We'll see you next Tuesday, okay? Until then, everyone, take it easy. Peace, stay safe, much love. See you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.